after a man is shot and killed during an interaction with Omaha police.
Plus, memorials are taking place across the country and right here in the metro for those who lost their lives on 9/11.
Clouds and showers moved in late this afternoon. We've got rain ahead in the forecast for tonight.
And it's not something you see every day. An Iowa homeowner shares the moment a hot air balloon lands in her driveway.
Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is Omaha's news leader. KETV Newswatch 7 at 5:30.
Omaha police say one person is dead after a shooting involving officers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCarthy.
I'm Julie Cornell. Police say 27-year-old Matthew X. Johnson pointed a weapon at a bystander and officers. This was near 101st and Pacific early Sunday morning. That's when they say several officers shot at him. He later died at the hospital.
A KETV Newswatch 7 Sean McKinnon joins us live with more on what led to the shooting. Sean.
Omaha police say this is a tragedy for Johnson's family, friends, and the whole community, saying they never want something like this to happen. 2 different 911 calls show that there were reports of a possibly suicidal man with a gun standing in the street, with his car parked the wrong way on the median. Callers allege Johnson said he was looking for a police officer to shoot. When police arrived, they say Johnson was holding the gun to his head. They say they negotiated with him for more than 5 minutes. Police say Johnson then pointed his gun at a bystander before turning it on officers. That's when they say police shot him. Now, Omaha police say a mental health co-responder was not at the scene, and even if one was available, they would not have brought them. They say the report of a man looking for an officer to shoot, it would have been too dangerous for a co-responder. Back to you.
All right, Sean, thanks. We're following several fatal crashes over the weekend. First in Valley, where the Douglas County Sheriff's Office says a bicyclist was hit near 252nd and Rainwood Road. Members of the Valley Fire Department performed life-saving measures, but the bicyclist died at the scene. The car that hit the bicyclist drove off after the collision. That driver was not hurt. The car went off the road. Sheriff's Office has not identified either of the people involved.
Well, in Lincoln, police are investigating after a motorcyclist dies on the interstate. Officers responded to the scene. This is near exit 397 on I-80. It was around 4 o'clock Saturday. They found that the motorcycle had driven off the road. The driver had been thrown off. The motorcyclist was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police have not shared the name of the driver. We're still investigating what led to the crash. If you have any information, call Lincoln Crime Stoppers. And then the Dodge County Sheriff's Office is also looking into a fatal crash. Deputies say a driver lost control of their SUV before crashing into a wooden fence. A man in the passenger seat of the car was taken to the hospital. He died of his injuries. Sheriff's Office has not identified that person. They are investigating speed and alcohol as factors in this crash.
Well, tomorrow marks 22 years since the 9/11 attacks. Thousands lost their lives that day, including more than 300 firefighters entering the World Trade Center to pull people to safety. People across the country are holding memorials for those who were killed, including events like the stair climbs to honor heroes lost.
In their mind, they knew they weren't going to go home, or thought they weren't going to go home, and a lot of them didn't, and they still went. And I'm getting choked up. And I thought that was, not a lot of people, if they know they're not going to come home from their job, they're not going to go.
Now, the Council Bluffs Fire Department will host a memorial stair climb at Harrah's Hotel. That's tomorrow. More than 20 fire cadet trainees will climb the stairs in full gear starting at 4 p.m.
Okay, to the weather now. We have a live look at Omaha. This is from our Skycam. This one's at Methodist Women's Hospital, and there's some raindrops on the camera out there.
Yeah, let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Bill Ramby.
Julian, Rob, a lot different than it was this morning. We've got a north breeze blowing, clouds and the showers over the Omaha metro, even a couple of rumbles of thunder just to the south of the Omaha area across Cass County right now. That's our camera at the American National Bank, 90th of Dodge. You can see Dodge is wet there. 71 at Epley Airfield, north breeze is blowing at 17 miles an hour. Everybody pretty much north and west of Omaha is seeing rain. And as you look in on the metro, those areas of orange around Louisville and south into Cass County, maybe some rumbles of thunder there, maybe even over Douglas County as well. See the cooling trend of the temperatures now, 67 in Bennington, 64 Wahoo and Fremont. Dew points are around 60, so the temperature is going to keep on dropping as the rain moves in, and moving in it is. See all of eastern Nebraska now pretty much with the rain activity, and we'll see more and more of that this evening and off and on tonight. Probably have some clouds starting off Monday, but some sun. A couple of spectacular days on the way, potentially top 10 days of the year later this week. But for now, the rain, and it's welcome rain. We need the moisture, and rain is with us for most of the night. Julie?
All right, thanks, Bill. Well, the rain did hold out this morning if you just had a car wash, and that was the case at the Show and Shine today. It's the patriotic Show and Shine car show in honor of first responders, and it's a place where every car has a story. And the owners of these classics are eager to share. This is Ron Taylor's 1979 Lincoln Town Car, less than 20,000 miles on it. He says he's keeping it alive.
For me, it's just being able to talk with total strangers about a shared passion. That is, it's a universal language, if you will. And it doesn't matter race, color, creed, religion, whatever. Everybody that loves cars wants to talk about it, and especially they want to talk about their own.
Ron is a retired firefighter, comes from a family of veterans. He says there's nothing more American than cars.
Well, the Chalk Art Festival's in its third day today. Artists got the opportunity to put the finishing touches on their chalk masterpieces. The festival has all levels of artists. Sidewalk lined with color. The theme this year was What Unites Us? But artists weren't required to stick to that. Some took creative license for their piece. Local artist Emily Artful says the festival is a great way to get feedback on her work.
We have a wonderful, thriving artist community here, so I think having chalk festivals and art festivals and still life drawing events here is just a wonderful way to not only bring all the artists out so that we can meet and collaborate and network. It's a great way to have just everybody to come out and witness all the wonderful art.
Artful wants to represent what unites us here in Omaha. She drew cutout of people holding hands in the outline of the state of Nebraska. The artist chosen as Best of Show will win $1,000, and People's Choices win $100 gift card to a Midtown Crossing retailer.
That's a great name, too, Artful.
Just bound to happen, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hey, tonight there's a powerful hour of programming you won't want to miss. It's the first KETV Teen Summit.
Quinicia Fraser and I welcome the voices of Gen Z to 7 Burlington Station. 9 teens from across the metro, all from different backgrounds. We tackled everything from growing up during the pandemic to their struggles with bullying and mental health and their experiences even with racism.
I'm not black, but I am Asian, and growing up, I would get a lot of these jokes where it kind of like killed me inside, but like I would laugh out loud, just like, haha. I try so hard not to disrespect people to the point where I look like I'm a pushover, to the point where people like look down at me. But I try not to judge others. I try to just, laugh out loud like, haha, yep, I'm Asian. Yep, I'm this, I'm that. But inside, it kills me at how disrespectful people can be of my people.
Voices of Gen Z, the 2023 KETV Teen Summit airs next at 6. We hope you'll stay tuned with your family to gain a better understanding of all generations to hopefully build a better future.
All right, so take a look at some video viewers shared with us. That is a hot air balloon landing in an Iowa driveway. It was part of the Fields of Flight event last night, one of several balloons that took off from Dittmer's Orchard earlier in the evening. It's not clear what led to the balloon landing here. I imagine the wind had something to do with it. But they were able to get it back up into the air eventually.
Surprise. Well, next at 5:30, President Biden makes a visit to Vietnam. He joined the country's general secretary to announce a broad new cooperation deal.
And the KETV sports team joins us to break down Nebraska's tough loss yesterday against Colorado. That's still to come on KETV Newswatch 7 at 5:30. Biden continues a trip overseas with a visit to Vietnam after the two-day G20 summit in New Delhi.
Well, during his visit to Hanoi, the president met with a Vietnamese leader where they announced a new cooperation agreement. ABC's Lama Hassan has more on what's involved in that deal.
President Biden arriving in Hanoi on Sunday, where he met with Vietnamese General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong. The U.S. and Vietnam, former wartime enemies, diplomatic relations between the two countries weren't established until 1995. Now, Vietnam elevating the U.S. to the highest diplomatic status that Vietnam has only given to a small handful of countries. The two leaders announcing new partnerships in education, technology, and business aimed at countering China's influence. The president says his goal is to provide stability by building U.S. ties with Vietnam and other Asian countries.
We have an opportunity to strengthen alliances around the world to maintain stability. It's not about containing China. It's about having a stable base in the Indo-Pacific.
Despite the friendly meeting between the two, there was tension as Vietnamese officials reportedly tried to interfere with the American press. Vietnam is a one-party communist state. The Biden administration has faced some criticism from human rights advocates for getting closer to a government that continues to crack down on dissent. President Biden says he brought up this issue with the country's leader.
I also raised the importance of respect for human rights as a priority for both my administration and the American people.
Vietnam has for years had close ties to China and Russia. The president said on Sunday that he met with Chinese Premier Li Qiang during the G20 summit in India, saying they talked about stability as their two countries continue to clash on a range of global issues.
It wasn't confrontational at all.
Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
From Omaha's weather leader, Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby with your accurate Weather Now forecast.
Ranby Factor time this evening. Ranby Factor 4. It's unpleasant for being and working outside. We've got some rain in the area, but we need the rain. Happy to see the rain, and you can see it moving from west to east, and will be with us for the evening and maybe a good chunk of the night. Here's our latest computer model. 6:30, rain into southwest Iowa, maybe some rumbles of thunder there. Other steadier showers in eastern Nebraska. 8:30. 10:30, looks like it's moving out, ending. Not quite. Still some more sprinkles and showers overnight, even until the morning here, where it's possible there could be a couple sprinkles and clouds to start off Monday. So far today, 77 the high, 59 the low. Really not too far from the averages of 81 and 58. Rainfall. Officially nothing yet, but it is raining right now in the Omaha area, and we need the moisture. We're more than 5 inches below average year to date. There you can see some rain on the camera here. This is our camera at 72nd and Crown Point, 700 feet up on the tower. Looking at the east-southeast, nothing but gray skies. 71 north wind at 17 temperatures. 64 Fremont, 65 Tacoma, still 80 in Maryville and 82 in Falls City. But with dew points around 60, as the rain overspreads the area, temperatures will quickly fall back to the low 60s as we go through this evening. That north breeze just strongest around the Omaha Metro. Live radar, here's an animation. See these individual showers moving northeastward, the bigger area of rain moving from the west to the east. And again, some rumbles of thunder around right now, but nothing severe. Severe weather watch down here, southwestern Kansas. See the rain extends across Nebraska up into southern parts of South Dakota. And our computer model again, rain moving eastward, but spottier sprinkles overnight tonight to early tomorrow morning. Then some sun in the afternoon and temperatures on the cool side. Tomorrow night, clear to partly cloudy skies. Even cooler air coming down from the north. We'll have sun to start. A few clouds pop up in the afternoon Tuesday. Spotty showers over there into Iowa. So cooler temperatures are coming, and if the winds are light enough, maybe some of the top 10 days of the year. Rain likely tonight. Monday, a couple sprinkles around. It will not be one of the top 10 days of the year. I think too many clouds, a little bit of a north breeze. Could even see a couple sprinkles in the morning. But temperatures in the lower 70s. Tuesday, maybe one of the top 10 days of the year. Wednesday, maybe one of the top 10 days of the year. Thursday, maybe one of the top 10 days of the year. What a stretch we've got there. We'll have light winds. We'll have.
So remember that, unfortunately. Hey, a milestone win, though, for Iowa and longtime head coach Kirk Ferentz.
Husker soccer back at Hibner, hoping to extend their win streak to 7. Matt Foster has highlights after the break. Team, our Big Red Zone insider, Sean Callahan, he's giving out this week's grades.
Yeah, I also remember that, unfortunately. Hey, a milestone win, though, for Iowa and longtime head coach Kirk Ferentz.
Husker soccer back at Hibner, hoping to extend their win streak to 7. Matt Foster has highlights after the break.
Plays are there, and so that's why you won't get from me a sense of like panic, like oh my gosh. It's more like hey, I've got to get this team just to continue to just keep a little bit better. So I watch a lot. I'm like, hey, you ready to do this for another week with me? And they're like, yeah. So that's why I stand here saying we'll get it right. I mean, we'll get it right.
Matt Rule certainly knows how to talk the talk, but so far his Huskers haven't been able to walk the walk. Nebraska now 0-2 to start the season after their blowout loss yesterday in Boulder. And this week's report card doesn't look pretty. With more from Folsom Field, here's Andy Kendi and Sean Callahan.
Huskers 0-2, Colorado 36, Nebraska 14. Sean, let's grade this thing out. Offensively, obviously, we'll start with the 4 turnovers.
Yeah, 8 turnovers now for Nebraska over the last 2 games. That's a turnover per quarter if you're kind of keeping score of the quarters this year. F for the offense. When you turn the ball over the way Nebraska did, I mean, they had control of that game in the second quarter. The time of possession was about to be 20-10. 20 minutes to 10 minutes. And then just things fell apart. The fumble, the interception. And Colorado, like a good team, took advantage of those mistakes. And Nebraska got in a hole they never could get out of that hole.
So an F for the offense. How about defense? They really kept this team in this game for a long, long time.
Yeah, there was a lot to like about the defense. The pass rush was good. The physicality looked good. The tackling was solid. But then the dam kind of broke. And a lot of that has to do with the offense. The offense put the defense back out there. The special teams was a little bit off on some of their punts, shorter fields. So I go C for the defense. I think it easily could have been a BB plus type day, but they didn't have the complementary football around them to give them the kind of day they needed.
Good pass rush for the Black Shirts. 8 sacks on the afternoon. All right, special teams, not a good performance.
Yeah, I'm a D on special teams. Brian Buschini had one of his rougher games early on, shanked some punts. They were in the mid-low 30s. That's just not going to get it done. You've got to get upper 40s to 50 yards, and we know he can do that. And Andy, we're in Colorado. The ball travels here, and the ball was not traveling off his foot. This should have been a game for Brian Buschini where the ball boomed. And then Tristan Alvano missed his one kick. And, you can blame that on the play before that because he got pushed back further, which, a yard closer, he probably makes that kick.
Yeah, the bottom line is the Huskers start the season 0-2 under Matt Rule. Matt Rule's first home game next Saturday against Northern Illinois.
Thank you, fellas. State bragging rights in Iowa now belong to the black and gold. Iowa reclaimed the Cy-Hawk Trophy on Saturday after holding off Iowa State 20-13 in Ames. Obviously, a big win for the Hawkeyes, who improved to 2-0 on the season, but it's a historic win for Kirk Ferentz, as it was his 200th career win as a Division I head coach.
I think the long story short, just really feel very honored and very appreciative, fortunate, and whether it's football, life, it really doesn't matter to do something that's has some significance. Nobody gets there alone.
Ferentz will have a shot at win number 201 next Saturday when Iowa hosts Western Michigan at Kinnick. The Hawkeyes moving back into the AP rankings after that win. They check in at number 25 this week. Colorado also moves up to 18th following that win over Nebraska. And Texas and USC move into the top 5. Nebraska soccer back at Hibner against St. Louis. Huskers down 2-1, 14 minutes to go, and it's Eleanor Dale who delivers her second goal of the game, ties it up at 2, but the Billikens would grab a goal in the final minutes of the match as they leave Lincoln with a 3-2 win. And welcome back, NFL Sundays. Welcome to the league, Trey Palmer, the former Husker, on the receiving end of this 7-yard Baker Mayfield pass for his first career touchdown. Trey helps the Bucks beat the Vikings 20-17. And kind of a developing story in the Big Ten. Michigan State has suspended head football coach Mel Tucker due to an ongoing sexual harassment investigation. Right. Now, Nebraska is scheduled to play at Michigan State on November 4th. Will Tucker still even be the coach of the team at that point? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, a lot of questions right now.
A lot of questions, and all the offseason stuff with Northwestern as well, so not a good time to be in that kind of spot.
All right, thanks, Matt.
We have a live look outside at Midtown Crossing. There's the raindrops. Final forecast coming up. Okay, this is something you'd not expect or want to see while driving down the interstate.
Nope. Authorities in South Carolina say a woman was driving when she spotted that snake slithering around on the passenger floorboard. She was able to safely pull over. She called 911. That officer showed up, grabbed the snake, which was now on the dashboard by the back of its head. Officer said he released the snake in a swamp near his office.
He's brave.
Wow. I've heard of having a tiger in your tank. That's what you do. You just go in there quickly, right? Grab it quickly.
Just snatched it up, no problem. There it is.
There you go.
I'm sure all of you would do the same.
Absolutely.
Right. Safely pull over first. That was the key here.
Hey, we've got rain right now on the camera behind us on Super Doppler 7 radar here. It looks like it'll be a wet evening and a couple of lightning strikes just south of us into Cass County. So Weeping Water over to around Beaver Lake, Plattsmouth, that very slowly moving eastward. You see the rain around Wahoo. That's also moving toward the Omaha Metro, so off and on showers. Here this evening, temperatures falling into the 60s, staying there much of the night. The rain chances diminishing as we head toward morning, though it could still be damp early in the morning. And then you see the temperatures tomorrow. Cooler after the morning clouds and some great weather coming up here through the week.
Thanks, Bill. That's our report at 5:30. Stay tuned next for our KETV Newswatch 7 special.
We're spending time with teenagers to listen to the